Hello and welcome to the award-nominated Scarf Bergara Award. Yes, you heard it right, our Mobo Award is in the post as we speak, isn't it, Russ?
I think so.
It is. It is the Scarf Bergara Award, streaming live on Facebook, Twitter and YouTube. There's a blog, a Spotify playlist, and will probably be translated into various languages any day now. I'm Nick Lee, joined as ever by my I've said genital co-host. I wrote genial. But it was all messed up, and I thought, no, it's fine, I won't redo that, I'll put genital co-host. It's only the Scarf Bergara Awards, Russ Johnson from the Scarf Bergara Award. You alright, mate?
I'm doing great, alright.
Yeah, good. So, my chit-chat this week,
okay.
Been thinking, so you know when you have sex education in schools?
Yeah.
Right. It's all like, the boys will go off in one room and like put a condom on a banana, and then the girls will go off in another room and like try on pads. Or whatever they do. I don't know, I was in the boys' room. What do you think? So, why is it? What they should do, they should teach you like technique. You know, if you do get in a situation where you are going to have sex with someone, they should teach you technique. And then maybe I wouldn't still be a virgin at 34. So, what's coming up tonight, mate?
Well, we've got
an actual legend.
Legend. Sat here in the flesh, Sam Walker. How you doing, mate?
Evening, gents.
Evening. So, we're basically going to talk to you for however long we've got you for, really.
Best way to do it, then.
Yeah, we've got plenty of beers, we're all stocked up.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what we're going to do. If people are listening or watching, could just let us know if you can hear us. I think you can, but it's a bit of a different setup this time. So what we'll do is do that, run titles, and then we'll get in, for want of a better phrase, get into Sam. So, Sam, first things first, right? What we normally do is do it in chronological order. So, from when you were born, how did you first get into football?
First get into football in the back garden with two older brothers, getting lumps absolutely kicked out of me, covered in mud. And it just kicked off from there, really, into junior football.
So, you were like better than everyone else at school?
Yeah.
So I always wonder, when I was at school, there was kids who were like so far above everyone else at football, and you think they're definitely going to be footballers. Yeah. I looked them up like in preparation for this. Yeah. Like one of them's in prison, one of them's dead.
Oh right.
So that's my school.
One of them's dead.
Yeah.
Where'd you go?
Cheadle. Yeah, but the rough end.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've looked up one of my schoolmates, and it's Angela Rayner.
Oh, nice one.
Yeah.
She likes swearing, doesn't she?
Yeah, she does.
I like you.
Yeah. You're like a bit of a swear, don't you?
You're all scum, aren't you?
For Joel and Brinny.
Yeah.
So go on then. So what happened early on? So if you were obviously really good at football, you must have shone against above everybody else. Was it a local team? Was it a grassroots team? How did it all start?
Yeah, so it was a grassroots team for me. It was Wearmouth boys, and when I was a lot younger, you could probably see the gulf from me and the other lads that played in the team. Like, I don't want to sound like a dick, but I was a little bit better. And then when the teenage years come, I struggled a little bit when everyone starts growing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I was a lot smaller, probably going into my mid-teens, probably 13, 14, 15. And then I hit 15, kind of shot up a little bit. And that's when I really started kicking on, I think. It was. I've done junior football. I spent a little bit of time at pro club, and then didn't get offered anything. And when I was 16, coming out of junior football, my dad just said to me, he said, "You should go and play men's football." And I went playing in the Manchester League when I was 16, and it was eye-opening to say the least. But a great experience, learned loads about the game, especially the dark arts at that level of football. I've done really well when I was playing there. I picked up Young Players of the Year, Player of the Year, and then I kind of kicked on. Then I was picked up, brought over to Woodley Sports, and then into semi-pro I went. So yeah, that was it really in a nutshell.
So when in the year were you born then? Because you have that relative age effect, don't you? You just said that you were all the
Yeah, so I'm late.
I'm April. Ah, right, okay. Yeah. So all the lads that you're playing with at a younger age, and you get huge ones. Look about 17, don't you?
It was. I mean, there's a pal of mine that I can think about now. He must have been about 11 with a beard.
Yeah.
You know, we'd go training on a Friday night, and then people would be asking him if he'd go in the shop for him as we're coming out of training because he had this beard and all the rest of it. He's massive. But then, yeah, it just kind of levels out over the years. But I was definitely the smaller guy, no hair on his face.
That was me. That I didn't grow until I was like. Thinking I'm like 7 foot stupid now. But yeah, back in school I didn't grow until I was like, well, when we left after the GCSEs, that was when I grew. But I broke my collarbone like right before the GCSEs playing football, and obviously I had the growth spurt that summer. So maybe that's why I'm so good at body popping.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Let's test that out, mate. Hey, so Woodley Sports then, because Woodley Sports at the time, like now you mention it, it's like a hive of activity. That's where Dicko came from, wasn't it?
Dicko were there just before I'd gone.
Simon Hackney as well, I think.
He was there just before. Like you said, it was a bit of a hotbed, really.
Yeah.
And at the time, if you get anyone half decent, the clubs would just come and pick them right up. There were loads at Woodley. There's Anthony Sarcevic, who's captain at Bolton now. He played there. Obviously, County have got Hogues.
Yeah.
Hogues was there,
that's right,
and he just kicked on and went from strength to strength. But there's been loads. It makes you wonder sometimes if they would have been able to keep us all together at a young age, where the club might be, but obviously not.
Yeah, well, it's all changed now, hasn't it?
We're seeing that more nowadays, though. Like there's players in the England team who've like had a proper ground in the non-league.
Yeah.
I think we're all the better for it. I think.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, because it's not all been like conditioned. You're not conditioned to the nice surroundings of an under-23 camp or something like that.
Type thing. Yeah,
that's what I was looking for. Yeah. So Woodley Sports then. So what age were you at Woodley Sports?
I got there when I was 18.
Right.
So I was playing at 18. And then I spent a few years there. And then Curzon came to sign me.
Right.
I'd had a couple of really good years playing at Woodley. Scored a fair few goals. And he was the assistant manager at the time, John Flanagan, and he got the Curzon job. And the night after he left, the next day he rang me and he just said, I want to take you over there. And another old county player that he'd done the same with was Christian Dennis.
Oh yeah.
So me and Deno, we ended up at Curzon there. I spent 4 years there. Really got a couple of promotions in there. Quite a few personal accolades, all the rest of it. So yeah, really good time there.
So you mentioned just before we came on air about playing the Queens. Was that before?
Sorry, yeah. So when we had when I originally went to sign at Woodley, because I was kind of an unknown, if you will, coming very raw out of the Manchester League. There was no contract or anything there like that. It was obviously pays you. Yeah. So so then you weren't tied to anything. So then you play a few games, and anybody in Stockport at the time knows Sunday football is a big deal. Especially in Bredbury, you've got the Queens and what used to be the Wagon. There was a rivalry there.
Yeah.
They had a couple of guys that put a bit of money in.
Yeah.
Just make it exciting.
You still do.
Well, yeah. And I got asked to go and play, and it was actually a local guy who's, I mean, he's a big name to do with Stockport football around here, Brian G. He's got his 3 lads, Mark, Gary, and Bobby. And I played with Gary we played together in the Cheshire FA team. We got picked for our districts, and we went and played there. And Brian was involved at the time. He just said, "Do you fancy coming down playing on a Sunday for us?" And at that age, you just want to be playing.
Yeah.
And yeah, definitely. Went down there, played for the Queens, loved it.
So did Amy pay you for the Queens then?
No.
Or did you?
No.
Still waiting.
No, it was one of those experiences where we had a group of lads that were good players, all around the same age, and we were just kind of growing up together. You know, going into the pub after the game, have a bit of food, all the rest of it. We used to have a couple of good away trips on Cheshire Cup days. We'll go away and we're just playing football, just having fun with your pals. Yeah. It was good, really good. Loads of fond memories.
So, I mean, we'll come to like the National League North days and the National League days, but that must have set you up really well, playing against those, like you say, the dark arts. You're learning the dark arts of all the shit house that goes on.
Yeah.
Because I've seen my mate Renner, Wayne Renshaw, he runs the team.
Yeah, I know Renner.
I used to play with Renner for Green Jack and Joe back in the late 90s.
Yeah.
He's mega.
I thought that's where that came from.
He's a quality player. I didn't last very long, but he's a quality player. I think he manages Offie Green or something.
I think he was involved at some point, I remember.
And I've been down to watch them a few times, or just because it was the end of their match and the start of ours. And some of the shit hours that's going on, it's proper. So when you compare that to like the National League North and the National League, are they completely different in terms of what goes on, like in your ear and all that sort of stuff, or is it much the same?
It's just not as much.
Right.
It's easy to. I mean, the referees on Sunday mornings, they don't really want to know, do they?
No.
Whereas if something goes on, and obviously you've got the crowd element.
Yeah.
People clock onto different things. You know, maybe officials aware. So it's not as much. I mean, Sunday mornings I've seen some X-rated stuff that shouldn't be seen again, whereas I've not seen much of it at National League level.
Yeah. You get away with loads more, can't you?
Ever since we dropped down there, everyone started trying to play football now. Yeah, they packed that in when we got down there. Remember when the famous Stockport County got into non-league?
Oh,
pack this shit in now. The big boys are here. And it's going to take them over a decade to get out of it.
That was a fucking shock, wasn't it? No, that's good. So I didn't know that about you played locally. So let's get into the nickname you've got then, because we're going to do a massive exclusive now, everybody. So Bredbury Busquets.
Yeah.
Tell us how that came about.
So,
and are you actually a Bredbury Busquets?
Well, we've seen him, of course he is.
No, I mean, are you a G Cross Busquets?
Well, there was a lad actually who's a pal. He was a county fan, and I remember he called it out type thing. He said it should have been the G Cross Gattuso or something like that. Because I obviously I played in Bredbury, and all my pals I used to knock about with were from Bredbury. So then I think people just assume that I was from Bredbury.
Yeah.
And then as things go, everything gets muddled, and I think that it just came about by a couple of people that knew me, and then one was a county fan, Scott Thompson, and then it came from, well, I think Scott's got the copyright to it. To be honest, he did me a favour, and then that was that. I think it, like anything, it just heard it once and then it went from there. So
great name, though, isn't it?
Great. Listen, I'll take it all day.
It's not the only thing Scott said that's stuck online, is it?
No.
He's got a knack for that.
He's been threatening to come on here for a bit, hasn't he?
He did. Remember, and he fucked up and had to record it again.
Oh, hi, yeah.
For the unmemorable.
Sorry, Scott. Fucking memorable, that, wasn't it? Well, that's it. When I was messaging you earlier in the week about coming here, I'm thinking, well, there's a Bredbury Busquets, you could probably walk in. And you went, oh, it's only around the corner for me. I'm thinking, it must be you. Hey, there's on Osborne Street.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's good. So right, it's like, so G Cross Gattuso, or the Bredbury Busquets.
Oh, I'm going to stay with the Busquets.
Oh, yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
I like it. Well, yeah.
The fella feels fuck with it.
An F footballer that's been shit. You know.
We've probably had a few.
Yeah.
What was that? That we got a loan from Stockport called the week.
Dunfeld.
That's not there. There's probably an F in there somewhere. Only forgotten about.
How do you feel about players like that? I mean, just going on the side, we've obviously County like just signed a striker from Scunthorpe who, if Wikipedia's to be believed, is a midfielder who's never scored any goals. And he comes to County, makes a sub appearance, scuffs one wide. I don't know if you saw it. He absolutely made a hash of it. And he's never been seen again. I've not even seen him on pictures of training. Not that I look at in the background of the game, but you see him on Twitter. Yeah, it's weird.
How long ago was that?
His month loan must be up now. I think his month loan was up this week, but he played like a day after he signed, came on as a sub, You know, but he's not even mentioned. Not even mentioned in commentary that he's like unavailable or he's gone back on loan. It's just, we're just trying to forget he exists.
Yeah.
Very strange.
I mean, we're not like...
We've had worse.
Oh, yeah, we've had worse, yeah. All before you came to the club.
Yeah, that was a turning point, wasn't it? It actually was as well, like, that team, I think.
Yeah, of course it was, Yeah, we always maintain, I mean, we've been doing this since 2015. Even when I interviewed Flinney, Mike Flynn, a year into doing this, and he said, the team that we've got now, and it was Robinson and all that crew, the young team, the team that we had before that with Churchman and Charlie Russell, got no identity. And he was talking about the team that we had at the time, said, this team's got identity. And he was talking that team up. But your lot, like Cowan, all the players you mentioned before, some of them are still there. That was a team that fucking had identity. Do you know what I mean? You gave us something that we could really, really latch onto.
Was this generation's county team in the same way that the last generation had 07, 08? Before that, we had 96, 97.
Yeah. So before that,
like
the late
90,
80s,
91.
Yeah. And that's the first that I covered. So yeah, so you and the lads that you were speaking about before, like Cowan and Ash and Keno. You probably know, don't you? Fucking so highly regarded.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Fucking.
Yeah, I mean,
do you see that? Do you feel that from being a player?
When we
talking
came,
to county fans and stuff.
What, the way that the county fans feel about all those types of lads?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely, and I think that you can just see that it meant a lot to those lads, not just being successful, but representing the club.
Yeah.
Everything that the club was about. I remember that pre-season that we came back in 2018-19. New additions, Ash, Keno, who else would have come in that year? I'm trying to think. Frank came in, Belly came in, Conor DeMeo, Kirby. They all kind of came in. Straight away, you could just tell that they were good lads. And then when the gaffer kind of outlined everything that he wanted to do, there was the immediate buy-in of everyone. We completely got on side with what he wanted to do, how he wanted to do it. It was his team. We're just gonna, whatever you want,
in a minute.
we're gonna do it. No, that's what it was for us, and I think straight away you could just tell that. And from the social side of it, just being lads together. I mean, the core of that team, we're still really good friends. We speak a lot, and it was just one of them. I mean, recruitment-wise, Jim just got it absolutely bob on. Jim and DC, all credit to them because he just got in the right characters and the good players, obviously.
Yeah.
But right characteristics, I think, massive part of it. There was no show ponies, there was no big I ams. It was, let's get to work, let's do what the gaffer wants, and let's win. And it took a little bit of time at the beginning to just get for it all kind of knit together.
Yeah.
But as soon as it kind of turned, we were a train, really. Yeah.
Once we got going,
So I need to get my dates right in there because I went, we went to all the home games and then loads of the away games and stuff. But was it the final 0-0? Was it, which game was it? Was a turning point? You have a turning point, don't you? Where it's either you get a really hard fought draw or a really good win, or you even lose a game and you think that's the fucking turning point. Which one was it for that team?
I think, thinking back to it now, we weren't having a great run. It was a bit of a mixed bag. I remember we might have drawn at home against Boston. We ended up getting beat 1-0 off Alfreton at home. I think Tom Denton scored a header.
Right.
We drew Hereford at home 2-2. And then I think we had Chorley at our place. I think they were probably out the traps early.
Yeah.
They were up there. And I think they were top spot by a decent amount of points, maybe 10 points or something like that.
Yeah, very good league, yeah.
And we played at Exley Park on a Tuesday night, and we just dismantled them.
Yeah.
And I think that was a turning point. And you could sense it. We trained the Monday morning, I remember you could just sense it from the gaffer. It was a really big game. And then from there, we didn't really, I don't think we looked back from that. It just gave us all confidence. Yeah.
There's some mad wins. There was like 5 and 6-0 wins in there as well.
Yeah.
The win at Chester, the 6-0 was probably
6-0
one of those
yeah.
complete county performances you're ever going to see.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. It was even like opening day that year. 5-0 against FC at home.
Yeah.
It was.
Callum Mantak got a 5th, did he? I remember
Yeah.
Turnbull got the 1st, did he?
Turnbull got one. Mulhern got one on his debut.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Mulhern scored it early on, didn't he?
That was it for Turnbull.
Ollie corner, yeah. Warb's got a couple, I think. And then, like you said, Ollie at one, there was reminiscent of Gerrard against Jersey. When he just gets set down and he just sweep. And then Callum, he came on after he'd had his bad break.
Yeah.
And he just lobbed the keeper. Yeah, and it was off to the races, it was.
But I said then we're going to piss this league.
Yeah.
I didn't know we were going to have like 2 or 3 months of like.
Yeah, it was a great start. I remember going to that game with my missus and kids and that. Yeah, lovely day as well. Wasn't it? Nice sunny day and that. Yeah, it's good.
Well, I think history account, like everything we've been through before with Jim as manager, kind of taught us to be optimistic about like what Jim would offer. So as soon as I come out on the first day and batter FC United like that, I'm just like.
Yeah, it's funny, you know. A bit of a story. I was on holiday in France, a holiday camp in France, like fucking 2 hours east of Paris, in the middle of fucking nowhere. Walks into the bar. Who's sat there? Jim Gannon.
Was this when the FC United game was on?
No. Fucking Jim Gannon sat there, but it was after the second time he'd been let go by County or been sacked. So I thought straight away, I'm not one of these people that was a Mivers people anyway. But what are the chances? You know.
Yeah.
So I did go mine for him, and because in the end I was thinking, but he's probably pissed off with County, and he's going to be.
He's going to punch you.
Yeah, just I don't want to talk about it or something. So I didn't say anything to him. I just like nothing. So we spent a week together at this fucking holiday camp, and didn't say anything to him.
You didn't at all?
No. I'll be honest with you, I fucking panic in that sort of situation.
Right.
I panic. So I just like, oh.
Yeah.
40-year-old bloke, sorry, you know.
You would have think though, to be fair, the gaffer. He's brilliant in situations like that.
Yeah.
Because he's happy to just talk to anyone. Especially when it's about county or football.
Yeah. And I bought him his beer all week, you know, if I got talking to him, but
tell you what.
so himself a few quid there.
That's an IOU there.
Just for everyone watching and listening, if we do get up and go somewhere, we're just going to the fridge to get another beer. So we'll just carry on talking. So
more fast than loose this week. To be fair, I'd do that every week if I could.
Yeah.
Just piss off.
Well, when we were doing pre-recorded pods, you couldn't you?
Yeah. Going for a cig.
You got a cig, yeah.
Drink. But now.
So on that note, I'm getting a beer. Do you want one?
Yes, please.
Yes. Okay. Do you want one?
I'll have one.
Okay.
Maybe. So, well, Spennymoor.
Yeah.
That free kick.
Yeah.
That was another one of them moments, wasn't it? Where it was just.
Yeah, it was.
It was a tough game. That it was one way you kind of got the sense that one goal was going to win it straight from early on, and then what a moment.
It was a pretty cagey one.
Yeah.
I remember the crowd was really good that day, and I think the way that the positions were in the league table at the time, I think we were still trying to claw back a little bit to get towards the top spot, and I think they were probably, it could have been 3rd and 4th maybe when we came to play them. I think we realised as players that if we were going to go on, then we need to win this game. And you're coming out there, the tunnel, and Edgley Park's bouncing. Load of expectation on you, which I personally thrive on. And yeah, just luckily for me, it ends up being my goal that wins us the game. Absolutely buzzing with it. I look back over, before I came on, we got given, I think they were on sale actually. It was like a goodbye to the north. Do you remember it? It was like a book.
Yeah.
So I was going back through that, and I remember I saw a quote in it that I'd done, and it was saying about
Yeah, someone's commented it. So it's gone off for everyone. That's something. I thought they could still hear us, and it just went to shit. Well, when it comes on, I'll. Oh, wrong camera again. There we go. And we're back. And apologies.
Sorry about that. Are we back?
Yeah, apologies to the technical issues. Someone with big fat feet went and stood all over everything. So yeah, we were just talking about the Spennymoor game. So yeah, the question on everyone's lips about that goal. Did you mean it? Was it a shot?
No.
No.
Not at all. I remember we were going through the set pieces as we'd always do on a Thursday evening, and the gaffer kind of come over as we were moving the free kicks back, and he just said, look, that type of area, that's where you want to be putting it. So, and to be fair to him, he did actually say, he said, because even if there's no touch on it, maybe a bit of distraction or something like that, there's a chance that something can come of it. And I've actually scored free kicks like that before anyway. So when he'd said that, and then, to be fair, Stotty does me a solid one there, because he gets across the front of his man. It looks like he's going to get the header. And then at the last minute, I think the guy just bumped him out of the way a little bit, and then the keeper's wrong-footed. Just ends up going in, and to be honest, just one of the best feelings after. You don't really, in those situations, you don't really know what to do. And I think it was just raw emotion just coming out there. Yeah, brilliant. And then we managed to hang on for the win. It just, again, it's another one that just snowballing.
That's one of them, isn't it? Where like when you do get a 1-0 win and it feels, if you compare a 1-0 win like that to what we had to watch like the Saturday just gone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There was some balls about that. Whereas this one, it was just a matter of, this week it just seemed like it was a matter of, let's go 1-0 up and just not try and score again.
Yeah, but it's a completely different team and different time, Nick.
It is,
so let's not get into slagging the existing team off. Fucking hell. It does say in this book, actually, this Goodbye to the North, for you, County's Players Player of the Season. So I probably read it at the time. I didn't realize it. It didn't really stick in my mind. But that's like the biggest for me as a player. I never won one in playing for Brenny, Jack, and Jill, or anything like that. But getting that for that season, players player, that's something, isn't it?
Yeah,
your peers.
It was big for me, that.
Yeah.
It was. I remember, obviously, we were riding the wave because we had the presentation evening after the Nuneaton game.
Yeah. Straight after, wasn't it?
Straight after.
Yeah.
We were, like literally on the bus back to Edgeley Park. All the fans outside the bus, like, couldn't even get off at the start because people are trying to come and party with us. And then we get off. Obviously, they go through the presentation and whatnot. And to be fair, not even really giving it much thought at all. When you think about season that Warby had, Ben was brilliant, as he always is. Ash the same, always 7.5, 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
So I didn't really pay anything to it because we'd already done what we wanted, and then that happened, and yeah, I remember just the lads coming over, just congratulating me at the end. The gaffer came over. He just said how pleased he was for me that I'd won that, and to be fair, even the gaffer's wife came over,
right,
Hazel, and she said really pleased that I'd won it, and all the rest of it, and things like that. Just little things like that just stick out and might not seem a lot, but those are the types of the things that you can take away from it. And it was very much a collective thing, everybody in it together. Even all the staff's families and stuff like that. So it was brilliant. Yeah.
Do you want me to get you a podcaster of the year trophy?
It's like working in a fucking ice cream van, isn't it? Getting employee of the month.
Didn't you say that once? And something you got an angry tweet?
Yeah, I got an angry tweet of an ice cream man, didn't I?
It wasn't ice cream man. It was a company. It was a franchise.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, it was a proper.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So if we ever have an event and want it catering, we can't get an ice cream man
because I've said that
you've alienated
twice.
them all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's get the modern milkman in, won't we?
Oh, don't start on the bottom,
Oh,
milkman.
mate.
Fucking idiots. So, I mean, let's talk a bit about that wand of a left foot of yours, because I mean, I still maintain, and it's not because you sat here and I'm blowing smoke at your ass, but you're still the best left-sided corner taker we've had for a long, long time. I think even I reckon better than Danny Lloyd. Danny Lloyd could whip him in, couldn't he? But yours were quality.
Yeah, I was better than Danny.
Yeah.
He was decent, to be fair, Lloydie. But I don't know about
Hmm.
that. Hit me a fair few front men in the old hair.
Maybe I'll conveniently block those out of my mind, but
yeah, I'll take it. No, I don't. I think that we used to work on it a lot. Different roles, routines. I've just always kind of took corners and just
it's
once in a while get the delivery right.
I suppose it helps that you've got Ash in the middle and players like that, where if you put it in the mixer, they're going to get on the end of it, aren't they?
Absolutely, yeah, without a doubt. I mean, yeah, you're saying about Ash there, the amount of times that he's been the saving grace there.
Yeah,
he'd make a bad one look good. He would, because he died to get on the end of it. And he knows he's got a chance when he gets there.
Yeah,
he really is a proper fucking player, Ash, isn't he?
Yeah. Well, there's not many players that get a song, is there? They're few and far between, aren't they? And he's got his own song about the brick, hasn't he? So fucking
roles.
Yeah.
I don't think, even as much as he is lauded by all the county fans, I still think he's underrated.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Just football intelligence, knowing different parts of the game. Probably don't get as much plaudits as being a good footballer, just because he does all the stuff that nobody apart from big centre halves want to do.
Yeah.
But he's top player.
When you say underrated, by who? The current management, or just the press,
just
or
in general,
I think just the generalisation.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know, because you get lost with football now. People, everything has to look good. They have to run well. Like one that I can think is Van Dijk. He's smooth, isn't he?
Yeah.
Really smooth. Whereas if you've got like a bit of a dog of a centre half that does the same job, but he just don't look that great.
Yeah.
People look at different,
Yeah.
even if they're doing the same job. And I just think generally, just because he don't do any, I don't know, he don't cry for chop someone and go the other way.
You don't go on 30-yard runs
He
upfield
just
out of
knows
defence
what
and
his
stuff.
job
Yeah.
is, and he does it brilliantly, week in, week out. That consistency, I think that's what it is. It's just always week in, week out with it.
Yeah. Is
that old school centre half with like a bent nose?
Yeah.
Can't whack it, can you?
No, I suppose it's the word cultured, isn't it? It gets banded about quite a lot, doesn't it? You're a cultured centre half if you like Van Dijk, but you're not if you're sort of a bit untoward. But yeah, I get that. Yeah. Cool. So yeah, and that obviously we spoke about it before, but that left foot crossed in for Spennymoor. So that's probably why I'm homing in on your left foot, to be honest. Because and left footers as well.
It's a luxury, isn't it?
Hopefully you're with me. Hopefully you're with me on this. Left footers always look more like majestic when they're kicking a ball to a right foot. Everyone says sweet left foot. No one ever says he's got a sweet right
magic?
foot. Yeah.
What's he doing with his left foot? I only stand on mine.
Don't they always look better, don't they? For some reason.
Yeah. I think it's a weird one for me because I am.
Because you are like, yeah.
Second nature to you, so you don't really pay much attention to it. I'm just striking the ball or something like that.
Yeah.
But no, I do know what you mean when you look at other players and stuff like that, and you just see that the way that they can, I don't know, just hit it and stuff like that. Like you said, because it's a little bit rarer than a right footer.
Yeah.
Because
we started a game with no left footer in the squad, didn't we, earlier? A few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Actually, game with not a single left footer in the starting 11, which is a sad thing where you think, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Don't think we won either, did we?
No, but it won't be the first time we've done that, though, will it? I won't say it's forever.
Well, certainly in recent memory. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, because I think
for most of the 90s, you had Lee Todd for a start.
No. Well, yeah, but this is what we as fans do. When things aren't going our way, we start to pick up on things like that. And we talked about it like Ben Inchcliffe kicking the ball out, didn't we? When things aren't going your way and you're losing 2-0 away at Halifax and he kicks the ball out, everyone goes, fucking hell, Ben Hinchley, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But if you're winning matches, if you're on an 18-game unbeaten run and there's no left footers in your team and you win the match, no one gives a shit.
But if you're playing a back three and you don't have a left footer in it, you're more than likely not going to go on an 18-match unbeaten run.
I don't know.
Because you look at the caliber of players.
To be fair, he knows football.
Exactly. And he agree with me, so fuck off.
No, just going back to that. But like the caliber of player that the club have now at their disposal, brilliant.
It's mad at 2 or 3 options for every position. It's just bonkers,
They're
isn't
so
it?
Yeah.
strong. And I mean, when we were talking to your lad Daniel out there before, they'll be fine.
Mm.
They'll be absolutely fine. It's just all par for the course. Like our team, 2018-19, we were 12.
Mm.
We were 12 just before Christmas, I think.
Yeah.
And then
Close
we
to
won
about
the league.
18 points off Chorley in December.
Yeah.
Mad.
And it'll all come good. That's the only thing that I'd say. Don't worry about it. I think definitely in good hands.
Yeah.
And they can't not come strong. They really can't. You look at everything there. It's got to come good.
Yeah. I think because of the, I hate to come back to the money, but the money that is invested, it happens eventually, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, you look at City when they got bought out. Look at I'll say Spurs, but whatever.
Worst example.
I know, yeah. Chelsea back in 2004-05
Yeah.
took them a couple of seasons, but they started to win things then. And it does happen. It does happen for the level. We just got to have a bit of patience. And again, but we're not see. I don't know how much you're around County fans, but there's not a lot of patience at the moment. It's kind of a 50-50 split, I think.
Yeah,
probably.
I think the main annoyance for people, myself included, is that it feels like we're further away now than we were like at the start of the year. If you look back to like the West Ham game,
Yeah.
it feels like we've regressed since then. Which that's my main issue.
Yeah.
Like the money spent and stuff. Yeah. But
Yeah.
no one's died. So
No, exactly. Yeah.
I've still got a roof over my head. It'll be all right.
Football's the most important thing of the least important things. That's what you got to remember.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Or football's the least important thing of the most important things, depending on how your life's looking.
Yeah. Okay. Let's fucking complicate things, don't we? Yeah. What else? Tell you what. Let's go back to that day at Nuneaton, the 3-0 win.
Were you all like the week going because after the Curzon game, obviously because it just changed. Oh yeah, we should go Curzon.
Oh yeah, let's go Curzon first.
No,
Yeah.
You were on the pitch, were you?
Should we go one back further?
Go on.
The one before that.
Oh yes.
Oh, go on then. Yeah,
Surely
yeah.
away on the Saturday. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh my word.
Let me ask you guys as fans. Obviously, we're going there. We obviously all know that it's kind of do or die, really, isn't it? Whoever wins, pendulum swings their way. What are you thinking when you're going into the game that day? Nerves and things like that. Well,
Yeah.
naturally.
Yeah. As much as you get nervous as a fan.
Yeah.
I'm probably like dead nervous, thinking I hope the players aren't feeling what I'm feeling.
Yeah.
But I think you probably admit yourself you need a bit of nerves as a player, don't you?
Yeah.
But yeah, as a fan, I was shitting bricks.
Yeah.
Just thinking I don't want to go through the playoffs.
I didn't get a ticket either.
No,
So
neither did
I
I.
was having to watch it at County on the big screen, which removes you even further from it.
Yeah.
It was. I'd said that I saw Warby last week, and do you remember his miss in that game?
No.
The one where Daz squares it just after the half time.
It's a sitter.
And
Is
it's
it?
like I think it's probably about 5 yards out. The keeper's out the equation. He's hitting. He's looped over the bar, and it still haunts him to this day. I remember what he was like after the game, because when he missed it, he was stood in front of their end, and obviously it was packed out. It was a sellout. He had his head in his hands, but he was literally from me to you, where they're fans and they're all just giving him dogs abuse. And he stood there, and I'm just thinking to myself, he's sinking even further. He's gutted that he's missed that, but he's going even further. And I remember, because I'd come on at half time, and I was shouting to him, I was saying, "Get back!" I just wanted to get him away from there, so that because we need him.
Mm-hmm.
We need him to go and do what he does. And I remember getting onto the bully at the side, and I was like, "Bully, fucking get hold of him, let's get him back," type of thing. Anyway, I think he we got on the bus after. He weren't talking to anyone. I said to him, I said, Warbs, have something to eat. Didn't even pick his head up. I said, Warbs, have a drink, you'll feel better. No, I'm all right. And I remember him, we got off the bus at Edgley Park and then he went home. And then I remember I decided just to, because obviously at that point, from a player's point of view, you're thinking, might have gone now. Might be playoffs. And like you said, nobody wanted the playoffs.
Yeah.
So I thought, right, I'm going to go and have a pint at the local. And I was walking down and someone just came to me and he was just like, text Warbs. I just texted him. I remember it was something along the lines of, keep your head up. We're really going to need you these next 2 games. So come in, start of the week, and let's go. And then, obviously, we're saying about the Curzon game.
His reaction when he scored.
Oh, that's him in a nutshell, because I think he might have had a couple of games where he'd not scored.
Yeah, he'd been on a bit of a dry one,
The way that he is and the way that he's wired, he needs that. Yeah. He feeds off it, like you said, the reaction. And then again, obviously, the week after that. And he was, to be fair to him, he just pulled himself back out and he made up for it tenfold.
Takes some character, that, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Takes some character.
Curzon, the game's pretty much wrapped up. It's quite 2-0 up, was it? Yeah, 2-0 up. So how aware of you of what's going on, with scores coming in and stuff like that? Because I think, wasn't there a fault? There was a cheer for nothing.
I think there was something. Did they get a penalty and they were saved?
But there was a cheer before that, though, wasn't there?
Yeah,
it was like a false cheer before that.
There was a false cheer
because you always get someone doing it, It
was because FC United had lost, I think.
Oh, right.
It was just some weirdos cheering because we care. FC United have lost. Yeah,
I remember there was the first one that went up, and then you're not aware of it, thinking, "What's going on here?" And then it's clear as day to me when the second one goes up, when good old Glenn Taylor scores.
County legend.
Was he invited to the party?
He came to Magaluf with us in.
Did
That's going to go around now. That's going to be truth, just like Bredbury Busquets. Yeah. That's it.
The Bredbury Busquets went to Magaluf with Glenn Taylor.
I remember when the Raw went up. It's just clear as day to me. We were in. They had a goal kick, and then the Raw goes up, and I knew it was something big. And I didn't even know what. I just started shouting on the pitch. I don't know what I was shouting. There was a break in the play, waiting for the goal kick to come. I was stood on the halfway line, ready to win my header, and I just started. I was going with the rest of the crowd. I'm just looking around. I'm seeing someone just screaming. I thought, yeah, I'm having a bit of that too. I just started screaming on the pitch. And yeah, final whistle goes there. I'm walking around. I remember I saw one of my old pals who's been a diehard County fan for years there. And I seen him in the crowd. And I said, I shouted over. I said, what score was it? And he told me. And yeah, you're just thinking, next week, let's go.
So was it all? Were you adamant you were going to win? Because there was some, even I was like, yeah, we're going to beat Nuneaton, no problem.
Yeah.
Like, normally you think, oh, this is County, but I thought even we aren't going to mess this up.
No, because don't forget Nuneaton were down and out, weren't they?
Yeah.
They were already relegated, I think, and all load of players had left.
And they pretty much just gave us the whole ground.
They gave us the whole ground.
On the title.
They put us on a bit of a crooner singer outside in a trailer.
So.
Yeah, £4 a can. Was it £4 a can?
I'd have paid 40.
£4 a can.
I'd have paid 8.
But yeah,
I don't know. You'd have to ask the other lads what their mindset was on it. I remember just thinking, no, we're too prepared. We're too equipped. I mean, the amount of times that I've heard the gaffer talk about layers, and we had that to us. We could play a few ways. And then we went out, obviously, the wind. Ridiculous.
Oh, yeah.
We knew that was going to be a big factor. But we could adjust. We were really adaptable to that. And then you have the usual things in and around the dressing room before you're about to go out. And I remember I was thinking this all the way down, just about this game. And I just thought to myself, in my mind, the mindset that I had was they're trying to take our league winners medal away from us. Can't have that. I remember there was just a little bit of a lull in the dressing room, and I said that. I said they're trying to take our medal away from us. Don't let it happen. And to be fair to the lads, I mean, we spoke about it before, and it was carbon copy of the week before. Ash and Warbs, doing what they do. Yeah. And then Tomo at the end, just the cherry on top of the cake.
Yeah.
And then it was, what a day. Brilliant.
I'm still recovering now.
Yeah. It was a cracking day. I didn't have any nerves before that game. Not like the Charlie one. It just felt like we had too much for
I'm going to Nuneaton to watch us win the league.
Yeah.
That's what I said to my missus. That's what's happening.
And as fans as well, it was. I don't know how much of this you sort of got while you're playing. Probably none of it. But there was people handing out flags before the game. The big flags that you saw. There was just people going around going to me and my lad. Does your lad want one of these flags? All we ask is you fly it. It's like and it's there now. That big flag there. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So it was such a good atmosphere, wasn't it? And such a good day.
Quality day out.
Yeah. So treasured memories. And then obviously we win, and we all storm the pitch. Us two included.
Well, was it you or was it Dave Espley who saw me walk past with like a pint in one hand and a fag in the other, and like just vault the barrier, just stood on the sideline ready for the final whistle?
It must have been Dave Espley because I didn't see you.
I remember taking a corner, and some guy brought his phone for a selfie. I just thought, can't be doing this. Yeah. I think that was probably about 70th minute as well, so we had a bit of weight on our hands anyway. But it was wild. I mean, when Tomo's goal went in, people falling over the barriers and stuff like that.
But they're not shit goals either, were they? Just to get us over the line. I mean, Warby's was a fucking.
That's how you showcase what you've been doing over last year.
Tomo's was a left-footed half volley from just outside the area on the right hand side of the goal with his left foot.
Yeah.
They're not.
Yeah. It's like at school when you have to do your exam at the end. It's like, this is where you showcase everything you've learned. That's what we did that day.
That was our practical. Yeah.
We scored all three types of goals.
Was definitely wind assisted though. Without that wind, keepers catching that.
It was going that way as well. The wind, wasn't it? Because I remember Inchley firing some down, and they just went straight through, didn't they?
And we kept getting corners.
Yeah,
and their keeper was just shitting himself on every single one. He's thinking, "Fuck."
Could feel a bit of the crowd like, I don't know what minute it would have been when Ash scored, but you could just feel like there was a little bit of I don't know unrest or something like that. Like you said, we'd had a few corners, and I would try to, from my side, I would try to gauge it because I remember at one point it took an age for the ball to actually.
Yeah.
Corner flags going. I think might have overhit one, just thinking I need to put a little bit more on it. But it was wild. But then, that first one goes in. That just settled everything.
Yeah,
it really did. And I think from there, everyone knew they weren't gonna.
Yeah, as soon as it was 1-0, they were I won't say crumbled, but just didn't have anything.
You could tell from the attitude of the whole club, the way it was, just gave us the whole ground. Like all the staff working in the kiosks had like Stockport County champions on the t-shirts. Yeah, like Hatters Bar 2019 National League North champions. Yeah,
I didn't know that.
They changed all the bars to Hatters Bar.
Really?
Credit to the guy who was the manager of Nuneaton at the time. I think
Ginelli was it? Yeah.
Right, yeah. I think he was something to do with, or he might have been the chairman too, or something like that. But obviously they were struggling financially.
Yeah, they were. Yeah.
I think he just saw the opportunity.
Because they're already down, weren't they? So
they were, I think, credit to him, he just saw the opportunity to make a few quid for the club.
Yeah. So
fair dues, yeah.
Yeah.
So at the final whistle, then we all start on the pitch, and then you get lifted up. We've had a question in, Ian Dowden. What was it like to be lifted by the crowd when we won the league?
Yeah, I tried to lift Adam Thomas, and it didn't go well.
Did it not?
But I'm not a type to be lifting anyone, am I? That's why. No, but I was the only one. Everyone's running over to like the big sexy players. Your Sam Walkers, your Ash Palmers. No one's going over to Adam Thomas. Adam Thomas is an industrious grafter, and no one's running over to him. So I'll try and lift you up. Didn't go well.
What a feeling. There's pictures there that you look back on and you just think,
Yeah.
you know,
I think there's
not many people have that. And yeah, just to be able to share it with the fans as well. There was that one picture where I've no idea who they were, but I'm holding on to him for dear life and I'm screaming my head off.
Yeah.
That's
It was that type of moment. It was just for everyone to share in it.
That's one of
It
the
was just special.
iconic county images, I think.
It
That's
is.
up there, yeah.
Yeah, it definitely is. It's got to be in here, but I'm trying to find it. But it is. It's one, and I wasn't too far away from you when that was taken. But yeah, can't find it.
Oh,
But,
I was everywhere that day. Oh God.
But yeah, that is definitely one of the iconic pictures of that season. And you're one of those players that does wear his heart on his sleeve, aren't you? Because you even when you scored on average, in a normal goal, it was like rah, wasn't it?
I think it was probably just because I didn't know what to do, really.
Right.
Either that or I don't know. Well, we probably rehearsed his celebration where he's running off with his arms out and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
obviously, I had I think I chipped him maybe 10 or 11 that year. But I always felt like the goals that I scored that year, the majority were kind of big goals. So
yeah,
I think that emotion just kind of comes out. I think remembering the Stockport free kick when we came back 3-2 on the night game when we were 2-0 down.
Game,
yeah.
And there's a great picture of that I'd seen. The groups together on the halfway line, just kind of like all huddled together. But then you've got the Cheadle end in the back and it's packed. Just things like that.
Yeah.
It's just.
Was that the game where Keno scored a belter as well? Yeah.
Yeah.
Our time. It was a sweet finish too.
Again, like Gerrard, wasn't it? A bit Gerrard-esque, wasn't it? Yeah.
It wasn't. They kind of were 2-0 down out of nowhere.
Yeah.
We looked good for going in. I don't know. We might nick one before half time, and then just like that, we're 2-0 down.
What's Jimbo said to you at half time there? Can you remember?
I'm trying to think now. I think he was calm. I think he just kind of reiterated because we got the goal back before the half. I think he just kind of reiterated what we were good at and just put a bit more on the gas pedal and just see if we can break him.
Yeah.
And then we came out the other side of that. I think Minion's gone down the right, puts the cross in, and then Daz gets a goal, and that's early. I think that might have been about 50, 55 minutes, something like that. So then we've got loads of time.
Yeah.
Got the crowd with us Tuesday night.
Yeah.
Park, it's written there.
Yeah.
And end up just getting the win. Yeah, it was brilliant. Yeah, it was a big one that stood out, and I just think that again, it just demonstrated that team, the character that it had.
Yeah.
We just immediately just fixed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just looking at the results of that season now in Southport it's like mid-February, coming from 2-0 down at home on a Tuesday night against Southport. But yeah, I won't say turning point, but you sort of did it sort of feeling that we've got a fucking group here now.
Yeah.
That kind of thing late on in the season.
Just carries on building.
Yeah.
And then week to week, the games get a little bit bigger, and you take confidence from what's been behind you. The results that you've had. Yeah, there's some big ones, and then I remember the running at the end. We had a few. I mean, we spoke about it before. The Chester game.
Yeah,
that was big. They were going for the playoffs at the time.
Wasn't it right after Hereford away as well, where we'd drawn?
Yeah. Drew 2-2. But just looking at the results, because I obviously I can recall it now. Now I've seen it, but after Chester away, we got beat at home by Blythe, and then got beat by Charlie. So in the last 4 games, it's 2 wins and 2 losses in the last 4 games, and we still went up as champions.
Just chipping away at Charlie from what seems like November time.
Yeah,
and just they'd occasionally drop 1 point, and we'd just claw a little bit more back.
Yeah,
I think if the season had been like 2 or 3 weeks shorter, we probably wouldn't have run out of games.
Yeah. No, it's quality, absolute quality. But yeah. And just we've not had a championship season. Well, we've never witnessed one, have we?
No.
What was it, 1967?
67 was the last championship.
So
team,
fucking unbelievable for us.
I remember JK, John Kieran talking to us about that. think there was a group of us that had gone into the bar after the game. Must have been a midweek game. I think we must have been getting close towards the end. And I remember him saying, he said, "You'll be remembered forever if you win the league, regardless of what league it is." And he'd said that because it's not happened in so many years. That kind of bring you back every 5-10 years, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah,
That's it written in folklore now, isn't it? That's it.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's the first of many for the club to just
Yeah.
go all the way back, and I'm sure it will.
That's what we're aiming for. I mean, some of the, I've got legends up in here. You can see them, and maybe you can see there champions have got that as well. So you definitely, and the champions t-shirt kit as well.
Yeah.
Definitely be up in my bar for as long as I live, anyway. So,
and when he does die, I'm having it. So, it's fine.
Penciled into the world.
We're like Bert and Ernie. We live in here.
So, off the pitch, then, like teammates, and you mentioned like Dan Cowan's a good mate, and Sam Minion. We've had Sam Minion on here actually.
Yeah.
Do you know what Sam Minion came on? He was playing for County at the time as well, wasn't he? And we talked about music. We'll talk about music with you as well. Yeah. And we said, "Well, what's your favourite kind of music?" And he went, "House music." And we were like, "Okay, what you really like house?" He went, "Yeah, I've got a tattoo." And then he went and showed us his tattoo. I was like, "Okay."
Yeah. The first night when we'd won the league and we'd gone away with the lads, he came out with a couple of glow sticks and some face paint minions. He was ready to go with that until the flight home.
Reaching for the lasers.
Yeah. No, he's granddad. He's exactly what he is on the pitch, Sam. He's just Energizer Bunny. He's always going. He's good fun. Yeah. Get him on a night out. I'm the type of guy.
But he's one of the players as well who he's been with us for so long. He's part of the furniture. He's in the community stuff as well, isn't he? He's just county through and through, isn't he? Yeah. He could probably go up to League One with us, I reckon.
I hope so.
Yeah, definitely. And the thing that is, he's got that drive.
Yeah.
He wants it. You can see that in him, and he just wants to get better and better. And like you said, I don't see why he couldn't go to those levels. But what a player.
He's back in training now as well.
Yeah, he's back in training.
For people who are fans of current county.
Yeah.
On the comments there.
One thing I did want to ask you, in fact, before we get off the pitch stuff, is your time at Edgeley Park came to an end. How did it come to an end, and what happened there? If you want to tell us, you can just tell us to fuck off if you want.
Obviously, COVID hit, and the season gets cut. I just got back into the team. I think I've been out injured, and we got on a bit of a run actually, where it looked like we might have been able to get into the playoff spots. And then my contract was coming to an end, but with everything COVID related, obviously we were all furloughed then, and yeah, I think it was one of those. I think the gaffer wanted to keep me around. I obviously knew that I probably wasn't going to be playing every single game and stuff like that. But just the way that the club's going, and I think it was just one of them, well, we're planning for 2, 3, 4, 5 years down the line.
And
I think that just where I think personally that if COVID doesn't hit and I carry on playing in the team and the run that I felt I was on at the time, I think I'd probably get another year because of the way that for the job that I was doing for the team.
Yeah.
But it was just one of those things. I mean, I remember the gaffer rang me and we were on the phone for about 45 minutes, and he's brilliant in those situations. And I knew that it was probably going to be a bit of an ask with a new ownership coming in, that I was going to get a new deal. So you kind of ready yourself for it as much as you don't want to, because I wanted to be staying, but that's football for you. And to be fair, the gaffer was brilliant. He said, "Listen, anyone that you want me to speak to, I'll speak to him for you." think he'd even he spoke to a couple of managers on the phone for me and stuff like that. So, from that side of things, nothing but respect and gratitude for him. And to be fair, the club were always been brilliant with me. So it was one of those when it was my time to leave, it was just I was gutted that obviously I couldn't be along for the ride anyway, but we've had some good times.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I really enjoyed it.
Don't be sad it's over, be glad it's happened.
Well, that's the thing. And that's the way that I looked at it. There's a lot of lads that play football that haven't been as fortunate to play for a club like County as I have. And that's the things that you just got to take stock of. And just one of those. Wish them nothing but the best going on. And like I said earlier, it'll come good. There's too many good players and good characters for it not to. Yeah.
Good stuff.
Put that on the posters. You should put it on billboards outside every park.
What, it'll come good?
It'll come good. Hashtag Stockport County. www.stockportcounty.com.
Hashtag Bredbury Busquets.
So what's it like with... Because me and Russ were talking about this earlier. When there's a takeover, when there's like talk of a takeover at a football club, we've seen it with Newcastle this week. The fans get a bit giddy. Some of them turn into knobheads. It's the same with us. Like with all, because I think the fans knew there was something in the offing for a few months, and all the focus was on, well, what does this mean for us? So how aware are you of what's going on? Are you shielded from all that? Or are you aware that there's something happening? Yeah.
Something's going on.
Yeah.
Definitely. It just depends what type of character you are. Some lads, I don't know, they just don't see things. Mainly younger lads, because they're just coming in, they're playing, they're training, whatever. They don't pick up on things. But you did. You knew it was coming. And to be fair, it's a great thing for the club. A lot of people obviously then start second guessing and overthinking and what's going to happen to me, all the rest of it. I just thought to myself, just keep doing your job, do what you do. If you're still here, great. If not, it's been brilliant. But yeah, we saw it all happening. To be fair, we weren't shielded from anything, and it weren't like, we're being taken over today. The club were great with that. To be fair, they were open, they were honest. And that's all you want from them, really.
Was it a case of you could see people walking around the pitch in suits and stuff that you'd not seen before? I've been in a factory before, and you see people walking around, you're going, exactly, they've got a clipboard. Health. Was it a case of that, or was it?
No, I think I don't know whether it was a conscious effort from new people coming into the club where they didn't want to disrupt, or if it was the gaffer just saying, listen, training ground, let's just keep it football. I don't know, but we didn't see any of that, to be fair.
Right.
We were kind of left just to work on the gym, really, and just for him to just carry on as we were. Yeah, so we weren't really as the team, we weren't disrupted in any way.
I think it's testament to the mentality, isn't it, that there's a number of players who were here before and are still here now, even after the takeover. Yeah. I suppose if it wasn't for your age, you'd probably be another one of them.
I'd like to think so.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, speaking about those lads that are still at the club now, top players. We touched on Ash Keno. What a player Keno is.
Again, came back, just slotted back into the team after injury, didn't it?
Yeah, it's a funny one, isn't it? Because I wouldn't say a lot of people, but it felt like he was fading out or being phased out, whichever way you want to take it. But then he comes back into a centre half role because he can play mid as well, and he's like the fucking best player on the pitch.
Yeah,
unbelievable, really good.
It's just that's the mentality of these players, I think. Just because when we won the title, there was a lot of talk about whether Ash Palmer was one of the ones that people didn't think would be able to hack it in the National League. And now I'm watching him every week and thinking, well, he'll do it in League Two for us. It's just keep stepping up. Same with Sam Minihan, like you said, just the drive and enthusiasm that he's got. He just keeps getting better and better. Yeah, same with all of them. It's mad.
They're just, I don't know, the three of them, they're just so adaptable.
Yeah,
I think the they know what they're good at, and they can kind of, I don't know, they can just make it work, and they're tough mentally, which it's needed.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think they get swallowed up in all chat, and I think that's important. They go out first and foremost for the three of those guys. From what I know, is they always work hard. That's the first thing, regardless.
Yeah.
Then everything else just follows. The way that they approach training, just business-like.
Mm.
You know, I can just think about it now. We'd finish training Thursday nights. There'd be a core group of us, me, Ash, Minion, Warbs, Keno, just doing extra shuttles, just to make sure we're just fresh. Or if someone was coming on the way back, then I remember Sam would get his work in if he'd had an injury. Sometimes I should get there early and he'd do it before so he could get home after. Just little things like that, just taking pride in the work. And then I think it all just shows then, all just comes to fruition. But yeah, there's no surprise at all that those three are still there. And I think they've all got massive, massive parts to play.
Yeah, I think so.
As the club grows again and it moves forward, which it will, I think that they'll move forward with it.
It's crazy, isn't it? If you think about the state of the club, even going to probably before Jim came back for the last spell, it was unthinkable that we'd have a player and keep them for like 5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
And that's what's
Oh,
happening.
yeah,
And
yeah,
I mean, the players we've mentioned, they might even get like 10 years here, get testimonials and all that, which for a non-league football club, which is what we've been for that time, is mad to have a player for 10 years.
Yeah. No, you're right. Yeah, never thought of that.
Yeah, I mean, what must Ben be into now, season-wise?
He's
Ben's the longest serving in our Minion.
Yeah, so it'd be
Must be.
season 6 or 7 now, I think. Season 6, I think, for Ben. Yeah,
Is it?
yeah, it'd be 6. Yeah,
Yeah.
and he's got some proper competition now as well.
Well, you've got a point that it's an interesting point because before Jim came back the last time,
it was 1 year contract.
I remember Neil Young. We were signing players on a Saturday afternoon and they were playing at 3 o'clock. This is,
they announced a signing at like 1:30 on a Saturday. Oh, we signed this
he's in the
person.
squad.
And then he's starting an hour later.
So unprepared and
yeah.
But
it was all players who'd like not played for like a year and a half. They retired 18 months ago, and then we brought them back.
Yeah.
And it was weird, wasn't it? But now to have players who are part of the furniture,
that's it. It's players that you can identify with, and you can you want to have the shirt with the name on the back.
Yeah.
That kind of you want the kids want to have that name on the back. Whereas all through that period, we've seen someone with a Chirac shirt. You probably don't even know who Adnan Chirac is, do you? No,
it's for the best.
Yeah, it's for the best. But there's a guy with a Chirac shirt on, and I'm thinking, why is he? Because he played like 3 games. By the way, we say it every time, but we've got this Dark Days series of podcasts, right?
Okay.
That cover 2005 to we've only got to 2015 so far.
Yeah.
You joined 2017?
Yeah.
And it just covers all that, and this player is part of that. I'm not joking. This player turned up and said to the management team at the time, "I haven't brought any boots, but I only wear Predator, so
get it sorted."
Like that. And they were just like, "Oh, okay."
But imagine what Lando said to that.
A bus full of scouts is turning up to have trials, and one of them was borrowing another one's pair of boots. It's like it's just you just could not write it. So when we get a set of players like yourselves, like you and some of the other lads, and you're putting in that shift on the pitch that you do, and you're having runs and things, it's just like fucking hell. This is what we've needed for like 10 years.
Yeah.
That's why I'm getting shivers now just talking about it. But yeah.
Starts at the top. That I think the stability that the gaffer had, and then it just kind of trickles down.
Yeah.
And just identifying right characters and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
when you say it starts at the top, then because we spoke about culture on this. Well, we spoke about culture a lot when Jim got sacked because that was part of the statement, wasn't it? Well, where does culture start? Where does it stop? What is it? Who do you think sets the culture? Because in a normal business, it's usually the guy at the top, the big boss. He sets the culture. This is how we're going to work. Blah blah blah. In football clubs, who sets that, or is that even a thing?
Speaking from it, the way that I saw it at County, I think that Richard Park, when he was the chairman, and he was brilliant, great guy. I think he just trusted Jim, and I think he really trusted him that he was going to do a good job. He could kind of leave all the football side to him. He was going to look after the club. He had the club's best interest at heart, and he was happy with that. And I think from his point, he always just made sure that he was there. He travelled to away games. He'd come into the bar. He'd say hello to everyone. Really likable guy. And I think that it just seemed to work. And then obviously, Jim just had his vision, his drive, what he wants to achieve, how he wants to achieve it. And I think because he was able to just map it out, and then he had the assistance of DC, Nick, strength and conditioning coach, Luke in the physio room. They were all fully behind. And then underneath that came all us. Like I said before about the buy-in, we were all there. We wanted part of it. And then everything's just moving collectively then. You're going together. And yeah, a lot of it was trust. And it all paid off.
I suppose if you get all that, then you've got the fans on your side as well, and then that's magic, then, isn't it?
Yeah,
that's the lot.
I think that's why. That's why we're sat here talking about that season as much as we are, because that's what it was. It was just really good times. Everybody pushing and wanting the same thing, and it just worked. All just clicked.
They were the days, weren't they? How good was it?
It was very good, yeah.
It was only
like I said again, all that'll happen again. It can't not.
Yeah.
It's going to.
Yeah, it's just a matter of time, isn't it?
Definitely. I mean, you look back on last year, playoffs just go a little bit different. It could be really too now.
I think without COVID, we could have done it last year. The form we were in, the football we were playing, like before everything stopped. I think that was. It was just a shame to have the West Ham game with no fans. I see that was the shame of the whole COVID thing.
Because it would have been. That would have been a game that would have been written into folklore.
Yeah.
Because it would have just been bouncing. I mean, the type of night it was.
And given how we played as well, we could have beat them with the fans behind us.
It could have been.
I don't know if you're old enough to remember the last time we played West Ham in 1996. Was it 96 or was it 97?
Late 96, yeah.
Late 96. It was the same conditions.
I remember the goal from it.
Yeah, the Dowie goal.
Yeah.
Honestly, I was there for that. I was like 15 years old, and it was the same conditions.
It was, wasn't it?
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
Pitch was a bit. Oh no, the pitch was still shit, wasn't it? It was a lot worse back then.
Well, the pitch at the moment is the best we've had in my lifetime. I think I was looking at it on Saturday.
Really?
When we were there on Saturday, I thought that's good. And it wasn't.
Yeah.
That
No. Right, I'm showing my age now, but we played Middlesbrough in a pre-season friendly in the 90s, and Gaza played, and the pitch was like a fucking carpet. And even Gaza was brilliant. He ran the game. When Gaza went like that, I was like. Like going with him. Best player I've seen play at Edgeley Park. No disrespect. Yeah. And he said afterwards, if you can't play on that pitch, you can't play on anything. That was a really good pitch. But then
went another pint.
Yeah, probably allegedly.
Probably in the bobby.
So talking about pints and shit. So off the pitch then. You've probably got loads of stories, but what's like have you got any favourite stories about the lads and Cowan showing his bollocks off and stuff like that?
Oh yeah. Forgot about that.
Yeah. Fucking Cowan.
I'm gonna get another beer where we do. Do you want another one?
Yeah, go on. Why not?
Are you all right for one, or do you want another one?
No, I'm all right for now, mate. Cheers.
I really need a wee, and I don't know what to do.
You'll have to wait until he comes back because I can't fill on. Yeah, the Cowan story. Well, or Cowan's bollock. It was. So we'd gone away. The club had actually sorted out for us, which was really good of him. Gary Burton had sorted all that out for us, and we'd gone away. And so we're on the beach, and I think we just dug a pit out, launched a load of ice in there, beers in there. Right, lads, picture. And obviously, Cowan just saw his moment there. Thought he's just going to drop it. And then they were one of those, whoever's phone it was, they're looking at it. Zoom in. Cowan, you got your... Anyway, so then between us, later, we'd gone out at the night and we said, right, we're gonna stitch him in big time. So then, obviously, Bully, captain, pretends that he's on his phone, pretending it's the gaffer, pretending that, like, obviously the gaffer's seen it. He's not happy with Cowan one bit. So then Bully comes back over to the group, and he says to Ash, obviously bearing in mind there's no one on the phone. He says to Ash, Gaffer wants to word with you about him. He's got this straight face Bully, and he's playing at a beauty. Cowan's there, shitting himself. So then he starts like rubbernecking then across this bar where the table is. He's saying, "Who's on the phone?" Says the Gaffer, like, speaking to Ash now. What about that picture? Not happy. Anyway, so then it carries on. Ash comes back. He says, "Bully, he just wants to like have a word with you before he goes." At this point, he's pulling his hair out in. And he's had a few drinks, so then everything's all the thought process.
Yeah.
Like he's probably thinking, "Oh, he's gonna sack me or something like that." And then we start walking down, and then they walk back together, Ash and Bully, and like obviously all the lads know, and then it's from there, and he goes through. His arse is twitching. he's having the crap with us all and stuff like that. But yeah, it was really good. But just because it's him as well, Cowan,
Is he like the Joker in the pack then, or what?
Do you remember the day of the parade where Jim was doing an interview?
Yeah.
And it was it Cowan and Stott?
Yeah, pissed out.
Stott, That's pulling faces behind him on his interview.
I remember that. And I remember seeing it at the time and just thinking, what are they doing? But yeah, it was. I think it was anything goes that day. I remember we went across to, after we'd been at Edgeley Park, kind of filtered over to. It wasn't the Bobby, it was the
Albert.
Yeah, we went into the Albert, into the back there. I remember I was stood on one table. Ash and Stotty was stood on another table facing me. Keno was on this side, and his missus was pregnant at the time. So he would kind of like holding back a little bit because he had to, because she was there. Warby were there, he were on a table, and we had all the fans with us too, and we were just singing, just going for it. Absolutely brilliant. Somebody just plonked an hat on top of Ash, then Ash's song came. He's magic, and all the rest of it. It was brilliant, but there were loads of things. Thinking back to that day, I mean, Frank, what a character Frank is. What a boy. He we went into the town hall. We had a reception there that they put on for us and everything like that. And then we kind of they put us in a couple of rooms. So the team had kind of congregated in, I think it must have been like his chambers or something like that. So on the coat hanger, he's got his robes and like the triangle hat. Next minute, I remember I was talking to Ash, and I turned around, and Frank's kitted out in to be fair, I think Bully said to him, he said, "Rein it in." He said, "You're gonna have to get that back on that coat hanger, sharp." To be fair to Frank, he did, but there was loads of stuff like that. It was just a really good group of lads. Yeah.
Did you end up at Bredbury Hall? I saw pictures of Bredbury Hall. Was that the same day?
No.
Or was this a different day? How many like celebrations did you have?
After Nuneaton? Wasn't it after the awards?
Thing, it was after the awards.
The awards thing, and then the after party.
Was it the after party?
Yeah.
The wristbands in Bredbury Hall. Yeah, we went there. So that was on the night of the presentation. But that
right,
it was. I mean, to be fair, we milked it for everything it was worth. Warby didn't travel back with us because he'd had a wedding down in the Cotswolds for a good family friend. He was an usher, so he had to go off there after Nuneaton.
Right.
So we'd gone to the presentation, had to do in Bredbury Hall. Just thinking about it now, I remember starting Ash on the dance floor, one jumping up to do an header and the other one sweeping round. But then the next day, Warby rang me in the morning. He said, "Right, I'm on my way back up already." He said, "I'm in the car." I said, "I'm about 2 hours away." He said, please, let's go out again. He said, let's go out into Manchester. And we did. So then the message just got floated out into the group. Who's going again?
What, even Keno did?
Well, this would have been, I can't think if Keno were there or not, because I think at the time he was living back down in Nottingham.
Right.
So he'd done the night. I think he'd stayed over, but then he'd gone back to Notts. So then I remember we met. So me, Warby, Bully, Daz. I think it was just the local lads. Cowan. And then we had a drink, and I think I might have turned to Minion. I'd had half a pint. Maybe about 1 o'clock this is in the afternoon. I just said to him, I said, I'm steaming again. And,
just topped up from
and it went from there. I remember we were walking to go to Albert Schloss. Bearing in mind this is a Sunday afternoon, but it's quite quiet.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're walking up and we decided, right, okay, we'll break it up and we'll just in case, so we're not a group of lads, we'll go in. Anyway, who gets stopped at the door? Cowan. Pissed. Says like, I don't think it helped that he had a non-lead paper. We'd pick one up from the shop on the way because obviously we're on the front of it. Like someone just said, let's grab this non-lead paper here. So he ends up taking that. Anyway, they weren't letting Cowan in. So then Warby just slips back into teacher mode. He walks up to the bouncer, dead diplomatic. He says, hey mate, so is it all right if we come in? We've won the league yesterday. We're not going to be any trouble. We're just going to sit down, have a couple of drinks. Honestly, we'll be quiet. Blah, blah, blah. Next minute, U-turn. Right, lads. In we go. I think we pitched up there for the rest of the night.
Right, nice.
It was just, yeah, brilliant. Just a top night. And obviously, he managed to make up for missing out on the presentation and everything. Because he won things as well there that night. So, no, it was really good. And then I think the week after that's when we went away. And then the week after that was the town hall. So,
fucking hell.
Just all blends into one.
Living your best life, basically.
It was, yeah. It was.
But deservedly so, I think, yeah.
We felt it in pre-season. But no, it was good. It was, looking back on it now, I think if we would have had to go through the playoffs, because it's such a lottery, as like we've seen last year and stuff like that, who knows if we would have been able to withstand the more loading of the games, high intensity, the warmer weather. Don't know, but yeah, it was. No, it's brilliant.
It's funny, isn't it? I mean, going back to the football, Charlie won the playoffs that season, went straight back down.
Yeah,
like just didn't have anything in the league, and we almost reached the playoffs.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
With much the same side as well.
Yeah, and I don't know what happened to Charlie. I mean, I don't follow Charlie, but I assume they lost players. Did they? I don't know. I don't know what happened to their players, but
I don't know.
It's weird, isn't it?
It's because we were neck and neck for most of the season. And
yeah. Well, they like we said before, they were in front of us for a lot of it, weren't they? Well, I know we caught.
If you look at where the two clubs are now, I mean, they had a bit of a struggle last season, didn't they? Apart from the cup run.
Yeah. So yeah. No, good stories. Anything sort of stick out apart from what you've already said? Is there any moment where you just thought?
Is there anything that no one's ever asked you about? Is there any story that you've had waiting there, but there's never been an opening for it?
Nothing that comes to mind.
Yeah, it'd be Cowan related.
I have something in the locker that I'll save for another day. Yeah. No, there'll have been loads of stuff, but when you just try to think of everything that's happened, yeah.
And when you're steaming as well, it's hard to remember it back in it. It sort of comes to you every now and again, doesn't it?
Yeah. I remember, actually, now you say like Elliot Osborne and Adam Thomas just being like man and wife on that trip away to when we'd gone away. Just constantly like cat and dog at each other. But they had it was like a weird little relationship.
Bit of a bromance going on.
A little bit, yeah. But then to the point where, I mean, he's dead dry, Tomo. And he's really funny, actually. But he don't really show that side of him that much. And I think when we were over there, I mean, because Elliot's a bit, I want to say about Elliot, he's like that annoying sister El. He's like just a nag, and I don't know. He just always thinks that he's right. And then I think Tom almost have pulled him on a few things. And yeah, for the days that we're there, them two just constantly. Yeah. It was funny to watch. Really funny.
Where's Elliot Osborne from? Like, is he from the Midlands? Is he Birmingham way?
I think his family comes from Birmingham, but I think he's like Nantwich way.
Oh, is he? Right, okay.
Yeah.
So he's not like got a Jack Grealish kind of voice or anything going on like that.
No.
All right, okay.
No.
What's the Jack Grealish voice? We're all here.
Well, no, but have you seen Jack Grealish? You might have seen him when he's been playing. If he says, "Oh my God," he doesn't. You can't hear it, but you know he's got a Birmingham accent. He's like, "Oh my God," like that, and he, do you know what I mean? I just pictured like Elliot Osborne like having that kind of thing.
No, he's got a nice posh,
A nice Cheshire accent. Yeah. No, good stuff. Stotty's a bit of a character, isn't he? Because even afterwards, like the season when we were in the National League, Jim was doing a post-match interview. Stotty's in the background, isn't he? In his pants with his like underpants on, giving it all.
Oh, walking past on the way to the shower, wasn't he?
Was that? Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah,
giving it all out. Yeah.
What a character! I think he's just that happy-go-lucky type of guy. He, never too well. He is a little bit too high, but he's never low. He's just easygoing. Just good fun to be around, and he's a really good player as well.
Yeah, he is.
I think another one that he's probably underrated a little bit. And it was probably a shame that we couldn't get him back that first year when we went into National League.
Yeah,
because he went back to Oldham and he played a lot of games there.
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
because I think that if we would have had him there that season, he would have just cemented himself even more.
It's a shame he didn't really get a chance last season, did he?
No,
under either manager, to be fair.
Did he struggle with his hamstring? I think
he had a couple of injury issues, and then when he did play, it was a left wing back in a 5.
Right.
And then, but he never got a chance as like a left-sided centre half.
No, and when he went back to Oldham, we played Oldham in a friendly, didn't we? Beat him 2-0.
Yeah.
And he played for Oldham in centre half, didn't he?
Yeah,
left-sided centre half.
Yeah.
I always thought he was quality. You're right. I think he's underrated now. I don't know. He was on loan at Fylde at the minute, isn't he?
Yeah, we can't recall him until January at the earliest, but
Yeah.
I imagine we won't be because his contract expires.
Yeah, we've got a form of doing it. County, I don't know if you've realised, but County have got a form of letting players go on loan and then either not having a recall or they end up scoring for other teams that are challenging around us.
Yeah.
It's always happened that.
Remember when we paid Christian Dennis to score for Macclesfield?
Yeah.
Yeah, he banged about 30 in, didn't he?
Yeah. I don't know.
Happy days.
Yeah, Stotty's a good one. What else? What else? Come on, Nick. What else?
I've hit all mine. Spennymoor was my big one. I was so excited to hear about Spennymoor.
To be honest, when we put out about, you were coming on, a few people said, was it a shot or a cross? The Spennymoor.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
But
Definite cross.
not claiming it at all.
No.
You like
putting it into a good area.
Yeah,
but that makes it even better, surely. That your crosses are that good that they still go in.
Yeah, but it's that one in it where I always like lament it when you see it on telly. Why don't they do every time you get a free kick in that area? Why don't they do just what you did? You put it in that area where the keeper doesn't know whether to come for it or not because it's going to get a touch, and if it doesn't and it goes through, then it goes in. I don't know why they don't do that more often.
Maybe with better keepers, it might not work as well. I don't know. I don't know, because even you see the better keepers get really confused and just look shit for brief periods.
Yeah, you can tell he's not really played or anything, can't you?
I know all the words.
Bless you.
No,
You know,
sometimes that doesn't. People want something a little bit easier on the eye. Rather than, to me, that's effective football because you're going to get something from it.
Yeah.
Even if that doesn't go in and he tips it around the post, we'll get another corner and we all, and then we can load it up again.
Yeah.
But somebody might want to play it short, work it wide, have a nice little combo into a 10 who sets it off and then put it in the box. That looks nicer.
Yeah.
But I just think that if something's effective, why not use it?
It's fine margins, isn't it? Whatever you can use.
And if everybody's well drilled with it and on the same page, then more often than not, it's going to come off. The amount of times Ash on the end of a cross, or there was quite a few, to be fair. Belly had a few offset pieces. I remember Keano got one, Minion got one that season.
That was the Kidderminster, was it? Minion?
Yeah.
I remember that.
Late on.
It was late on, yeah.
Altrincham that was.
Frank got a few.
Minion, yeah.
I thought he not
Minion
Kidderminster
scored. I think he scored against Altrincham as well. I think
as well.
That might have been
the
season before. Thinking about it.
No, the one I'm thinking of is probably one is Kidderminster late on, wasn't it?
Near post.
Yeah,
Yes.
corner.
Yeah.
Yeah. But things like that,
Yeah.
just bread and butter.
It's funny, isn't it? Because we got a free kick on Saturday, didn't we? And Rooney had the chance. We were all thinking he's going to get it in the mix. He's going to do what you did. He's going to float it to the far post. I mean, this is John Rooney we're talking about. He didn't. He did a reverse pass into Whitfield, who was on the left.
And wasn't it refreshing?
It was refreshing.
We scored from
Whitfield went down to the byline, crossed it in, Paddy Madden free header into the goal, and it's just like,
really good set piece.
Yeah,
just time on the training field. That, to be fair, the manager,
he's probably
mapped it all out. They've worked on it.
Yeah,
and it's paid off for him.
Yeah,
he'll probably have a little more as well up his sleeve.
Yeah,
because teams will be straight onto that now, and then he'll have more. But yeah, just variation as well.
Yeah,
like you said, you got someone like Runes at your disposal there that can put it on a 5p.
Yeah,
but they've been brave with it. They've worked it into a situation where it probably was it 2v1 out wide, and when Whitfield comes in,
1v1.
1v1. But
yeah,
he's just realised I just get half my yard in.
Yeah.
Put it into a good
because he's capable, isn't he? Yeah,
and there he is, your man, just to put it in. So it's like you said, it's refreshing.
When he did it, I was like, "Oh, hello." That was what I did. I actually did that. I was like, "Oh, hello," and then it sort of paid off. Yeah, it was good.
I said,
good.
"Oh, I like this."
Did you?
Yeah. And then realised my mates had already gone down to get a pint, so I was saying to no one in particular, just like every other bloody week.
Good stuff then. So what's the deal with you and the club now? Obviously you still got friends there. Are you going to get asked back, or is that something that anyone spoke to
you? Steve Bellis has been in touch actually recently, and he just asked if I'd want to come back to a game that I can get to, and just kind of be around the club really, and just show my face, which I thought was a really nice touch from the club. Weekends are just open, so it was good to hear off him. I speak to, like you said, the lads. I try and keep in touch with DC because I've known Dave a long time, and yeah, just whenever you can, I'll give Luke a bit. The physio. I had that kind of relationship with him. He's a really good guy and he's really good at his job. So if there's anything that I need as well, I know that he's on the end of the phone. And to be fair, the club's littered with people like that. Like Lando, even though he don't want to do anything, if there's anything that I need, he'll do it for me.
Yeah. If you need a Joma kit, he'll go.
No, it's just they're all brilliant with things like that. If I need anything, the club's been open arms and receptive to everything, and that's what you want.
Yeah.
It is, and I get that like everything's happening really fast, and they want to get back in the football league, but they're not forgetting, like somebody that's worked for him before, which is refreshing.
Brilliant,
because it can be very cutthroat, as we know.
That's really like good and refreshing for you to hear, because as fans, I certainly get the sense that the old guard's gone and there's a bit of a cut off, and now it's like this new regime that are just hell bent on going up the leagues, throwing money at it, and sometimes not keeping the essence of the club. I mean, when they did the shop up and they had they did the back of the shop up, I thought, yeah, they get it, they get the club, the old gates. But then you've seen things where you think, not sure about that. But so it's really nice to hear you say that.
Yeah, no, they've been brilliant. Yeah,
I've been very critical.
You have,
yeah. Well, I'm not saying been very critical.
No, you have. You've just said it.
There's things that have rubbed me up the wrong way, but I'm not. It's the issues that I complain about. It's not like I'm the only one complaining about them. So I'm not some crank.
Okay.
Well, I probably am some crank, but that's irrelevant to this.
Like what type of stuff?
Just I didn't. It's mostly footballing stuff. The recruitment in the summer, I thought it would have been good if we were going to be playing a number of systems, but we've just persevered with the same. We recruited as though we were going to like 4-2-3-1, and then just carried on with 3 at the back. So there's players like signed players like Tom Walker and Elliot Newby, who just, well, why have you signed them if you're going to go 3 at the back? Obviously Newby's gone out on loan, and then it seems like 3 or 4 months on now, we're kind of scrambling to play catch up because of how bad the recruitment was in the summer.
Right.
It wasn't bad in terms of the players we brought in. They're all quality players, but they just don't seem to. There doesn't seem to be any agreement on what system we're going for between like director of football and manager. That's what I think. But I suppose we'll see, won't we? We'll see.
Trust the process.
Yeah, oh.
That's it. Well, I mean, that's
what you've got to do sometimes.
That's
Yeah.
it.
You just got to persevere.
Yeah.
And like I've said a few times, it can't not come good. It'll just be. Things take time.
Yeah.
You know, and as frustrating as it can be, especially with football, sometimes things just don't. You can't. If you could, you would, but you can't just click your fingers and everything just fall into place.
It's unlike any other business, isn't it?
It's unscripted, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just, you know, there'll be a load of different things that probably we're not privy to that just come up and they could cause a problem. And okay, so we have to do this and manipulate this. But yeah, I think the club will only go one way.
But we'll still whinge about them every week. And
Well,
every
that's
week you'll tell me I'm wrong. And every week I'll say I don't care.
That's what makes it so good.
Yeah,
exactly.
that's when we're just fans with opinions, aren't we? And I see the bigger picture and I'm pragmatic, whereas you're quite emotional.
I see the big picture as well.
Quite emotional, aren't you, Nick?
Sorry. Well, tell that to my missus because she says I'm not emotional.
Does she? All right.
She says I'm not emotional enough.
Well, when it comes to football,
Yeah.
Oh,
she says I'm too emotional when it comes to
well,
football.
there
Yeah,
you
she
go.
does say that quite often. Yeah. I'm throwing stuff around.
Do you know what? Going back to Sam Minion, I'm not sure if my missus might be watching this now in the house, but I'm sure she's got something about Sam Minion. Every now and again, she'll just like put the phone over to me and go, Sam's back in training. I'm like, what? We're watching the Squid Game. What are you fucking talking about that for?
Well, when I asked my girlfriend
He's
to
got
name
something about him.
I know.
Yeah,
I know.
Ladies love him. They do.
It's the bald head, isn't it?
It's the bald head and the animal print shirts.
I think it's the fact I'm the love of house music, obviously. I asked my girlfriend to name footballers, and you're one of the only ones she can mention.
Oh, really?
She forgets like Grealish, Jordan Henderson, no idea. But Sam Walker. Yeah, no problem, yeah.
Wow.
I think it's because I came home from Nuneaton just shouting your name.
Yeah.
Just non-stop. Just shouting all the players' names.
Yeah. But it's like you just met my lad before. He was like he was a bit starstruck one. He was like, and that's because I mean we've been going for years, and I've been taking him since he was 6, probably before that actually. But we were that close to you at that Nuneaton game that he was like, what?
You know, mention what your daughter
held
said.
up.
But I think for
You are. What?
probably something that sticks with him.
Oh yeah, he will do. Yeah,
definitely.
So
massively.
that's
Yeah.
probably
Yeah.
Are we going to mention what your daughter said about 10 minutes before Sam got here, when I got here?
Oh yeah. So he walked through the door first, and my daughter goes, "Did you used to play for County? Are you a famous footballer?" I'm like,
I thought you went with it. You should have seen some of my
I
goals.
was like, I milk this now. Finally. Worst target man ever.
Scratch didn't say, "Are you Jurgen Klopp?"
Yeah, I get that a lot.
The facts of Jurgen Klopp.
Yeah,
He gets that a lot.
I get that a lot. I went to Liverpool for my birthday in June, and the amount of people who did like double takes
Yeah, I
on
bet.
like Formy Beach and stuff like.
Take your glasses off and put a cap on. I
Yeah.
thought you've got it.
I think
Oh,
I'd look
okay.
ill if I did that.
You shouldn't have worn that Liverpool tracksuit.
That's what did it in the club shop. Give it now.
It is now that he said that.
Yeah.
But he don't wear his
Young
glasses
Jur-
now.
Young Jurgen.
He's
I
sick
know.
of looking like me.
He's at the laser.
He's had the laser.
Yeah.
He's sick of looking like
Wish I could afford the laser. Oh god, he don't look right.
Just try
though.
and blag it and say you're his lad.
But I was tempted to do that. Just go to Anfield and see if I can just walk in. Just walk into like the staff entrance and see what happens.
It's like, have you seen that Southgate impersonator
Yeah.
who just still wears the waistcoat, but Southgate doesn't wear a waistcoat anymore.
Yeah,
Proper milking it, isn't he?
But
Yeah.
it's like when you see these. It's like the Pride of Britain Awards, and they invite all these celebrity impersonators, and there'll be like a David Brent impersonator, and it's just a fat bloke in a suit. There's literally nothing else to it.
doing that. And,
Yeah. Same with that Jamie Vardy one. It was just some weird. Do you remember the Jamie Vardy impersonator? And they had to
No.
get a restraining order against him. The Vardys did.
No.
Because he was constantly following him around, that they had to be like, right, we need to do something about this.
You've had a Sam Walker impersonator? No.
Yeah.
Not one ugly enough.
Scott Thompson will be doing it as we speak right now.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know how long we've got. How long you want to stay on? We're an hour and 44 at the minute.
I'm
Oh,
going
yeah.
to have to go for a week while you carry on.
Yeah, you go through. Tell us about your injury, because you've got a bit of an injury, haven't you? Because you don't look like you don't look in these pictures.
Bit banged up. Yeah, so we played Chester second week of the season, and I've gone up there a header, in my own box to clear it, and I've ended up clashing heads with my centre half and
Your own centre half.
my own centre half, and I fractured the front of my skull.
Wow.
I had a brain leak, fractured both my eye sockets, multiple breaks in my nose, split the palate, the roof of my mouth, and fractured my jaw. So I've had 2 surgeries in the last 8 weeks. I've had wires and screws in my jaw to bring the palate back together. Had a couple ops for my face, my nose, and then internally for my nose as well. But yeah, I went back to see the surgeon on Monday, and he kind of said, you know, unless anything happens, you're kind of free off into the wild again.
Right.
So then I won't be able to play earliest in the new year. They've recommended that I wear a mask, you know, one of the carbon fiber things.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just been a lot.
So
lately.
when did that happen then?
So that was 21st of August.
Right. Fucking hell.
Yeah, so it's been, and because it had happened over in Leeds, I was in Leeds General for 3-4 days after the injury happened, and then I was allowed to come back home. They took me back in for the surgery. So there's been a lot of back and forth between there, checking, all the rest of it. But they've been absolutely brilliant. Looked after me. I can't speak highly enough of the NHS. Just brilliant. The surgeon that looked after me, duty of care, and just on top of that, just being absolutely brilliant at his job. And he's been top class. So I've been well looked after though, and goes without saying as well. Family looked after, friends, you know, all looking after me and stuff like that.
So when are you back in training then?
They've said after the last surgery that I had, I won't be able to do anything probably for 5 or 6 weeks.
Right.
And that's your basic, just running.
What even when you get back in 5 weeks, it's just running.
Yeah, it'll be non-contact stuff.
Right. So what's the thing before that then? So you've got 5 weeks what to rest? Is that because your face doesn't need the jolts and stuff, or
even from the initial injury with the fractures to the front of my skull and stuff like that, when I clench my jaws, I can still feel all the fractures and
fucking hell.
So I think with the running and the impact stuff. So
yeah,
everything's just got to heal up at the minute, but I'm a fast healer, so so touch wood. No, everything's all right in the grand scheme of things. I think that I was pretty lucky. It could have been a softer part of the head or something like that, but yeah, I'm okay. I'll be back out there at some point.
Good stuff.
The first I saw it was on Twitter when you mentioned about like the NHS staff and everything. Like,
yeah,
I was like, what's happened here?
Yeah,
fucking hell.
Yeah, I mean, it was one of those. I mean, I didn't want to put a picture on Twitter because obviously my face was black and blue. I was all over the place. But I just wanted to put it out there about the NHS because they were so good to me. And I think that with me being so far at home with COVID and not being able to have like my wife come and see me or my boys or my mum and dad, stuff like that, they were just kind of waiting on me hand and foot and were brilliant throughout. So yeah, they were brilliant.
And they got you all patched up in time for tonight, which is always good.
I did say to him it was in the diary.
Them lads, you know, the weirdos.
Before thinking, but yeah, no, it's been good to obviously just come and speak with you guys and stuff like that because I'm kind of at a loose end at the minute.
At a loose end.
No training.
Have you ever spoke to any fans at this length about like not your injury, but about being at county and your time at county and celebrating and all that sort of stuff?
No, not really, because obviously you bump into him, and I've got a few friends that are county fans anyway, so you speak to him, but you don't normally have as much time as like what we've had here to be able to just talk and just chat. And,
Yeah.
you know, there's never been a time really where I've been able to do it.
Yep.
So it's good to just to sit down and get some of the stories out there.
Yeah.
You know, like just kind of relive it as well.
So with that in mind, you're going to be appearing at an event with friend of the podcast, Ben Walker. You can't go, can you, Russ?
I can't.
No.
It's my
Not-
wife's
it's not everyone
birthday.
why.
It's my wife's birthday that day. So I'll be planning.
Selfish, innit?
Yeah.
You not bought her a ticket?
Oh, come on, mate. Ideal present.
Yeah.
You get a pie and a pint with it. as
She'd
well,
love
so it's a
that.
meal.
She'd love that. Yeah.
Yeah. A week on the. Is anyone going to tell me?
4th of
quickly when it is?
November.
Very good. 4th of November. So if you go to County Shirts on Twitter, there's a link there to get tickets, like I have.
Yeah. No, that'll be good. You've seen how many shirts he's got, haven't you? I mean,
I've seen the collection and I've seen that he got a couple recently off Warby.
Yeah.
Oh right, I see. All right.
A couple of weeks back,
And I'd spoke to Ben, and the concept that he has, you'll have seen it, won't you? Where kind of like a timeline thing through
Yeah.
through careers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it'd be really good to obviously go through the shirts that he has. And I mean, it'd be the same for any football fan. There's certain things that you associate with certain shirts, you know, whether it be games, memories,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
stuff like that.
absolutely.
So there'll be things there when I look at the shirts that he's had and that I've worn, things that'll crop up, and you know, probably there'll be loads of things that we haven't even touched on tonight. So it'll just open up a load of other stories, and it should be good.
Yeah,
Looking
that's it.
forward
I
to
think he's doing a few of them as well. I think he's got. Well, I know one of the people he's got lined up, but I don't think I'm the person who's allowed to say. I think no,
no
definitely
spoilers.
not. No.
I better not say who.
Yeah.
No.
With that in mind, Russ, who's our guest next week? We didn't get a chance to mention it before, but we're going to be back in here next week, aren't we?
We are going to be back in
the same
here.
room together, having to pretend we like each other.
Yeah, we are.
It's like Noel and Liam, isn't it? So
it is a bit, yeah.
one of us has actually turned out to be all right, and the other one's a bit of a fraud who still does some good tunes. I'll let you decide.
Yeah.
Which.
Well, I'm Liam, obviously. Which I got Nebworth tickets, by the way, so happy days.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean you're Liam Gallagher.
No, I know.
I'll be standing at the gate and telling that to everyone who walks in with a bucket hat on. You're not him. You're not Liam. You're not Liam. You're not Liam.
No, we've got next week. We've got someone who's at the club now. So Steve Bellis. We've got Steve Bellis coming. He says hello, by the way. He said to say hello to you.
Yeah.
One
So-
of the reasons I'm a County fan.
Is Steve Bellis?
Yeah.
Really?
In fact, I've not had a chance to mention this on the podcast of the week, but it was my uncle's funeral of the week, and Steve Bellis kindly sorted it out so that the procession went to the ground and everything. So between my uncle and Steve Bellis, they are the two people who are why I'm here. So if you want to blame someone, one of them's dead.
He's stuff like that, Steve.
Yeah.
He's brilliant. He's the lifeblood of the club when it comes to things like that. The amount of times that I've seen him put messages out and wanting to help fellow county fans, and you know, there's nothing more that he can do. So yeah, really, really genuine and top bloke.
Yeah.
And he always gets the first pint in after a game.
Does he?
Yeah.
Well, he won't have to buy
I
any
always
beer when he
do.
comes in.
He still can.
Well, he still can. I mean, he doesn't have to.
Not gonna stop him.
So yeah, we've got him on next week, and it's really because of some of the feedback from the fans recently about some of the stuff that's going on at the club, and I think we'll get Steve on to explain some of the things. And what we're hoping to do is get that be a regular feature. I don't know how often. We'll have to discuss it next week, but we'll do that.
And people with some big questions and stuff.
Yeah,
as long as they're not being a proper Herbert and posting something stupid.
Yeah, well, we'll do all that, but it's nice to hear you, Sam, talk about people still at the club and who like welcome you back, and there's that continuity. Steve's a massive part of that. I mean, there's Gareth Eccleston's been put. I don't know if you've seen these. Gareth Eccleston's been putting these videos out. I think he's been like
he's got a load
filming
of
VHSs somehow.
Yeah,
He's
had them all converted. Hasn't
yeah,
he?
and there's one in the early '90s. Steve Bellis is there as the commercial manager. It's like so he's been at the club longer than most people.
Yeah,
unbelievable.
But now he's a great bridge from obviously everything internally at the club and the fans. Yeah, because like it's been said so many times, he really gets it.
Yeah,
he does, and I think it's important because he can have that voice.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So hopefully he's going to come on here and maybe clear up some misconceptions. People can.
Yeah. Well, there's been a few people on social media saying that maybe the club need somebody who's got a fan's view because some of the decisions they've made. Well, that to me is Steve, is it not?
But it depends if they're asking him his view. I'd say based on some of the decisions made, maybe not.
Well, we can ask him next week, can't we?
I don't know actually. I don't know if I would say that. I don't know.
Why? Because you're a shit
I think in
house.
terms of, not to him. No, I'll say what I want to Steve. Fine. I know what you mean. We're like that, me and Steve Bellis, as you'll find out next week when we just exclude you from the whole conversation.
Oh, okay, right.
As soon as you go for a piss, we're locking that door. It's going to be the Nick Lee and Steve Bellis hour. Finally, that's why I got into this podcast, mate.
Good stuff. So we'll have that next week. What else we've got to mention? From next week as well, we're going to have an academy and ladies corner. I say corner, just a section where we talk about the academy and the ladies.
Yeah, and if
no one covers it.
If you've been watching the kids or the ladies, feel free to tweet us with a picture. If you're watching said kids and said ladies.
Yeah, be careful how you say that. Obviously, the ladies, former goalkeeping coach. I was at the ladies for a bit. Yeah,
and they didn't get rid of him because he was no good. He got rid of them because he was busy.
Well, no, things happened in my life that I had to stop it. Yeah.
Busy.
Yeah,
you're busy Sundays.
It's always, the door's always open to go back there. Jane and Pete, salt of the earth.
Maybe a bigger club will come and poach you.
I wouldn't.
Who's bigger?
Well, I would never. I'd never do it any other club than Stockport County Ladies.
It's your dream job.
Yeah, there's no point.
And as we know from people whose dream job is to be involved with Stockport County, no one ever gets rid of them. If it's your dream job to work for Stockport County, you're there working for Stockport County forever. You definitely won't get sacked back in January 2021.
You always have to go there, don't you? No, you always have to go there.
You were
don't
looking at me like you didn't know what I meant, so I just thought.
Well, yeah, I didn't know what you meant. I know. I wonder where you was going with it.
Novel you've been working on.
You always have to bring it back. This is what I get every week, Sam. You have to bring it back to negativity.
This is why we can only do it in the same room once a month.
Right. Okay.
You just really detest.
You see, with us two, you've got both sides of the fan base. I'm dead like positive and pragmatic. It's good. I'm like you. It's good. It's got to work. It's going to work.
Yeah.
It's going to. We shouldn't have sacked Jim.
When have I said that? Apart from 10 minutes after it happened. That was the last time I said that, and pretty much everyone was saying that at the time.
Right. Anyway,
everything's. But carry on.
Don't forget you can consume all our content on the Fan Hub app. Get it done on there because we get rewarded for that. So we've got a blog on there, we've got YouTube, podcast, and soon we're going to have a new website built for us. It's going to go live on the 1st of November. I can see, Sam, you're impressed. I can see.
I'm writing a blog as well. Do you want to know about that?
Hmm?
Do you want to ask me some questions about the blog I'm writing that's going to go up there next week?
Go on then. What's that?
Well, maybe I don't want to tell you. You don't seem as though you're bothered, mate.
Well, you're not down as a blogger, so.
And?
Well, go on and tell us.
No, come on.
Okay.
I'm not down as a flasher, but I still flash. I'm still on the bus on a weekly basis. No, I'm doing a little thing about squad numbers, Russ.
Oh, okay.
Based on our discussion.
Oh, yeah.
Earlier this
there
summer.
we go. Do you?
How do you feel about squad numbers as a player?
From what perspective, like
Are you asked?
yeah.
You're on Football Manager, but I've never seen it say Sam Walker preferred number 8.
Right.
But that is your preferred number.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that was just
on the
because
phone.
I'd always wore number 8 when I was a kid.
Right.
Yeah, but I don't know. It just changes player to player. Some people aren't bothered. Some people are.
Yeah.
To the point where they probably go and say, "Oh, I want this number."
I used to hate Sunday mornings, because I obviously, as we've outlined before, I was quite a short ass. So I'm not going to be fighting people off. So everyone would just elbow me out of the way, and I'd be stuck with number 3.
Yeah.
13.
I'm a bit of a.
I wasn't playing at left back. That's the problem. Just no one wanted it.
I'm not asked about.
Everyone wanted 6 at left back then. To Roberto Carlos.
Yeah. I'm not asked about squad numbers in the professional game, but at a grassroots, when I was coaching my lad, like I said before, 7 to 11, I had one parent who insisted that his lad had number 11, and I'm like, why? We're playing 7-a-side. Why do you need number 11? It's just, but these parents, they think that it's FIFA and they think they want the they want the kid to be in the Premier League.
I
And
don't understand
you've got
it.
lad. You said you got lads. Are
Yeah.
they playing yet or
No, it's
too young?
at the minute.
Right.
But when it comes to that, it's just about playing the game and enjoying it.
Mm.
I think when you start putting things like that on, like you've got to be playing, wearing number 11, you want to be playing a certain way. It's no good for them. You
No.
just got to let them go out there, develop, enjoy it. If they do, then they can carry on with it.
Yeah.
But I feel like parents are so serious about grassroots football, whereas it should be about enjoyment.
Yeah.
And then if
Absolutely.
they enjoy it and they have an appetite for it, then you can develop it. And then if they want to get to a certain age and they think, oh, I enjoyed it, but I'm interested in other things, then that's fine. But I feel like, because it's something that I do want to go into at some point, coaching. And at some point, I'm probably going to have to coach kids and stuff like that. And I think that too many get away from the fundamental side of it.
Mm.
You know, like everyone just wants to look good or a nice picture to put on Instagram or something like that, rather than having any real substance to it. I feel like it's a little bit lost that.
Yeah.
And I think it needs to be brought back because everything's for show nowadays.
Yeah.
Especially with the football thing, you see these kids, they turn up kitted out, like you're saying, they want a certain number. Well, why?
Yeah.
Is it going to make you play better? No.
Mm.
It's yeah. But I think obviously it's that the element of the parents getting involved.
Yeah.
Little Johnny wants to be 11.
Yeah. The football on the TV watching parents.
Yeah.
They don't actually watch the game any like proper levels.
No.
Well, it's like when Ronaldo went back to United. Obviously, you won't understand, but me and Sam being massive United fans and everything, like we get it. But just weeks.
Daniel James, I feel sorry for in this scenario. But anyway, go on.
Like, he's getting paid by Leeds. I'm sure he's happy. He's playing under a better manager at Leeds, arguably. So I'm sure Daniel James. Don't you worry about Daniel James, mate. Daniel James is fine, look. He'll be okay. He's not worried
No,
about
but it just
you.
feels like he got shifted on because of the number.
Yeah.
I might be wrong there.
So
I don't know.
Cavani could have 21 and then Ronaldo. But it was weeks
I don't know.
of grown men worrying about it. And it's like, you're grown men. You shouldn't be wearing shirts with like a name and number on the back anyway.
No. Okay. But back to the point about like grassroots football as well. I mean, I did it for a while. And the reason why my lad stopped, because he was a goalkeeper in the Premier League of East Manchester Football League, which is a good standard, you know. He stopped because he was just getting a load of that off his players, saying I could have done better, that kind of thing. I mean, he's a competent goalkeeper. And then one parent, I remember she said it to me, but he was in earshot. He made a mistake, Dan. He made a mistake, goal went in. And this parent went, well, he's allowed to make mistakes as long as it's just one. And I'm like, he's 12 years old.
They just
So,
don't do it.
honestly.
I couldn't do that. That's why I can't have kids or anything.
Yes.
That's why I can't fall in love with anyone or just show my emotions to anyone, because this is the type of thing that other people let you down and then you have to just go mental on them, on their asses.
Was that one that you weren't the coach of that, were you, Ross?
No, I was just, I'd give up. I was just a dad at that point.
I
Yeah.
feel like that's got to come from, I don't know, the coaches. You know, they've got to stamp that out. Everyone's going to make mistakes.
Yeah. Well, when I was a coach, to be fair, when I was a coach of Dan's team, I had a really good set of parents. Amy was one of them, Lee Hamilton.
Yeah.
So he knows football inside out. So he was on side already as well. So yeah, exactly. So we had a really good set of parents. But when we left there and went on to this other team that was in a higher division to try and progress him a bit, you know, it just, the parents were a bit more, we should have stayed really in hindsight, but that's hindsight, isn't it?
But then the parents just get lost in the winning and losing.
They do.
It's really not important at that age.
No.
I remember one of the grassroots teams that I played in weren't great, but just like good group of lads, really good parents. And I think it only got to probably mid-teens when I started going to teams where there was a little bit more pressure. But again, the parents kind of respected all that, left it to the coaches. And I think, too many that just got an opinion and they don't take into account how the players feel.
No.
Because like we were saying before about people that, you know, like players that get abuse and stuff like that, they're humans at the end of the day. These are young kids just trying to do something that they want to enjoy.
Yeah.
So if you got some parent that's, you know, like kind of getting on the back and highlighting mistakes and stuff like that, it's just going to drive them away from the game.
Yeah.
It's no good having stuff like that.
No, just I honestly, when I was a coach, not with like Ami's parents, that group, but the others, you could just I'd prefer just to sit in the car and all the parents just do that and just let them play.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's some of the stuff I've heard as well. Like, I remember one guy was having a bit of a go at the coach, and he's a grassroots coach, but his lad had been in development teams and academies, dropped out and all that kind of stuff. And I remember this coach saying, "Well, why do you ever never listen to me, but you'll listen to the academy coach?" And this guy went, "Well, he's a proper coach." It's like, what are you talking about? Jesus Christ, it's mental. So you've got all that to come. I mean, you know it anyway, don't you? But I'm sure you'll get involved heavily.
To your credit, though, Russ, your son decided he didn't want to play football anymore, and you are, yeah, fair enough. And that's pretty much the one thing that makes me like you as a person. The fact that your son didn't want to play football, and you were like, yeah. Everything else I hear about.
Oh, right.
But that, I was like, yeah.
Yeah, it's his decision,
You're
isn't
not
it?
a pushy dad.
No, I'm not.
Unless it's with me.
Well, I'm not your dad, am I? Feel like it sometimes. Right. 2 hours. This is probably the longest pod we've ever done.
Yeah.
But it's been worth it.
Well, it's been good.
Yeah.
Really enjoyed it.
So yeah, should we wrap it up? So at this point, I've got to say, please do subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you haven't already, like, share, comment.
Because going forward, it's quite possible that it will just be live on YouTube and not Facebook. And
yes.
Twitter, so
yes, I think that's the way to go.
Get on there.
So thank you very much. We've got Steve Bellis coming up next week. And maybe we'll get Sam on again at some point. Come in the County Arms.
Yeah.
Maybe a Friday night next time and I'll get pissed afterwards.
Yeah. And then everyone can go and play football on the Saturday.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
Jordan Keane down as well.
Let's do it in the next 5 weeks. But yeah, no, Sam, honestly, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Yeah, mate.
Thanks for having me. Loved it. It's been great.
Good.
Yeah. Love to come back on again.
Good. Glad to hear it. Yeah, we'll definitely have you back on 100%. So, hey, good night to everybody. Thanks for watching, listening, whatever you've been doing. Brilliant show again. Let's just put one comment up. Cheers, PJRC. Is that Bills? That's not Billsbury, is it?
No.
Anyway, right. Cheers, everyone. See you later.
Bye.